guys, welcome to Wine is the New Tea, where we have guest hosts bringing you all the wine and no tea. Each and every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. On today's show, we will be talking about Shay and whatever he was wearing, Meek Mills, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kamala Harris, and a bunch of other topics. I'm Jovi Beauty, and I would like to introduce you to our other guest host today, Keisha from the Master Stylist, and you all know Boyce Watkins. Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Are y'all ready for today's show?
Yes, we are ready.
Y'all, it's gonna be action-packed. But before we even get there, we're gonna throw this promo in so we can get on with the rest of today's show.
Corey SSG in the wine cellar. You're a rapper. You blew up back in 2016 as a YouTube couple sensation with your wife Carbon Pritchett. You both have amassed millions of views across social media, showcasing your married life, your kids, pranks, and real lavish lifestyle. The world fell in love with both of you, and you have since divorced your wife and called her out for not appreciating you as a good husband, being a bad mother, and losing herself. And recently, things have gotten so nasty between you and your ex, you actually confessed in a YouTube video that you have since called immigration on your ex-wife for illegally walking across the border at the age of 7 to enter this country illegally with her family. You have been very vocal about your split. Carmen has also alleged that you were mentally abusive and made her participate in threesomes to please you, only for you to still turn around and cheat on her with other women and her friends. You guys have been married for around 5
years.
5 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. You've been active on social media the entire time.
Yes.
Okay.
Since the whole relationship started, really.
I know you and Corey have since, reconciled. Now he said
Reconversated.
that after he did get on social media to drag you, I was just like, what the could you have said to her to make her want to take you back?
It didn't get that far.
You're saying now you and Carmen are now going to work things out. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna move to Houston or is she gonna move to Miami?
We actually gonna go to Alabama.
So you're not moving to Alabama with him?
No, why would I?
So why would Corey think he went to get his wife back and said both of y'all are moving to Alabama and moving in together?
He's assistant moving to Alabama. I'm confused.
Did it feel like old times when y'all was together?
When you in front of your wife, you look in the eyes to eyes, and and then you see that, and it's just like everything just all, and it was like, I can say that, like, damn, I miss you. You know what I'm saying?
There's no emotions attached when it comes to speaking of the situation. Repetitive,
Yeah.
Like, it's just repetitive. Like, let's talk about the new guy that I have. How about that?
That's what I'm saying. So what is the stark contrast between your old relationship and your new guy now? Your daughter has accused you of the most heinous thing. She said that you her for 10 years.
My body gave him a reaction that I didn't want.
My daughter said, Dad, if you didn't do it, you need to go on the show. You need to do an interview.
My father wasn't the only person that was touching me.
Brandon Freeman, your sister has waged war against your dad. And you as well, too.
My 2 older brothers was as well.
You've been around for about 20 years. Mm-hmm. You've been in Chantel's life. You know her very well.
She watched him beat my ass.
I was raised to, if you know something's wrong, say something.
You were featured on Breakbeat Media's channel and you detailed abuse that happened to you from age 5 to 15 years old. And this alleged abuse took place by not only your mom, but your dad and your 2 brothers.
It's very important for me to tell my story to bring awareness to the Black community.
21 years old after having a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dad is not circumcised. He has meat everywhere. Your dad goes off to the side. The police make him pull down his pants. That man is fully circumcised. Mm-hmm. How is it that you, if this man allegedly took your virginity, you have been sucking his dick since you was 5, you have been in and out of his house your entire childhood, how is it that you don't know the difference between what a circumcised man is and what an uncircumcised man is?
When he saw that my hymen wasn't no longer attached, my father started to have full-blown sex with me.
You say I was sleeping with all these women. In her video, she said I had all these women, but she wasn't lying. Plenty. 15, 20 at all times. So I was risking her life. I was sleeping with them women, then I'm running up in her room. Then why would I be asking you if you're a virgin?
I don't remember when I lost my virginity. I don't know. I don't know if it was one of my brothers. I don't know if it was my dad. I don't know.
So your mama saying you lying. Your daddy saying you lying. Your story and you not being able to remember.
What man is gonna? Okay, so how about this? I'm such a liar.
And it's not just a man.
I would pay money myself to take a lie detector test and do whatever.
You do a lie detector test?
I swear to God I will. If you want me to do it right now, I do it right now.
Hey,
I swear to God I will.
Can we get a lie detector test down here, please?
Yeah, she done talked to Clarence and you know, Clarence apparently gave her documentation. She told me she want me to do a lie detector test and shit like that. Yeah.
All right, winos, if you enjoyed shows like this and would like to see more with me live on stage, then be sure to join me March 10th in Atlanta, Georgia at the Uptown Comedy Corner. Tickets on sale right now. Link in the description box as well as in the bio. And don't you worry, I'm bringing the wine and Teddy, damn it, okay? See y'all soon.
Okay, we're back. Y'all, I gotta find out what happened in that lie detector test. But before we even get into today's topics, I want y'all all to be sure to catch Tasha K live on stage, all right? Tickets can be purchased at TashaKOnStage.com. Atlanta is up next this upcoming Sunday, March 10th at Uptown Comedy Corner, all right? The first show is already sold out, but there's still a few tickets available for the second show. Get your tickets at TashaKOnStage.com. Plus, you never know who you might see up there too. She's bringing us guest hosts on there, so you never know who you're gonna see at any show. It's gonna be amazing. Now, guys, let's jump into these topics. The first topic is this Michael Maiden story. He is the father who has been accused or allegedly of drugging his daughter's 3 friends at a sleepover. Have y'all seen it?
Yes, I saw it on TikTok. I did.
So what do y'all think?
When I seen it, I already knew that it was, you know. I already knew, like, that was messed up. And I think they said the parents tried to come and get the kids, and he was like not letting them get their kids. That's crazy. I hope he goes under the jail. And and it's crazy because he got a bond. Like, he shouldn't even have a bond. He got right out.
Yeah, he shouldn't. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that really what that says is that you got to think about where you're sending your kids, you know, spending the night with their friends and all that. You don't know what's going on in that house. You know, that there could be a pervert right there in the house around your kids. And that happens a lot. Like, you know, I think that's the benefit of something like this being seen publicly, is you just know, like, there's all kinds of debauchery out there. And I just really think that there's nothing extreme about parents that just say, no, my daughter or my son, even, because sometimes they want your son and your daughter. They're not doing sleepovers with anybody until they get to a certain age. And then maybe even giving them like a safety plan and all that on how they can make sure that if something does happen, they can respond appropriately and make sure that, you know, that things happen the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I really am. I feel great that one of the little girls followed her gut. You know, he was trying to force them to drink these smoothies, and she was like, nah. And he came in, from what she said, keep like checking to see if they were breathing, if they were awake, and she felt weird. And, you know, normally when you feel weird sometimes as a child, you don't act on it because, you know, adults and whatever. But she ended up texting her mom at like 1 something in the morning because he was still in there checking on them. And they came and got their children. And from what I heard, they were like, they were whoopy. They couldn't walk. They couldn't do nothing. So just imagine what he was planning to do to those girls. Imagine what he was doing to his own daughter. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
He didn't give his daughters any, though.
No, he gave up. Oh, he gave all of them. They always drinking that mango smoothie.
Yeah, but not his. He gave the girls that came over. He didn't give his own kids any.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, I mean, those like date rape drugs, they're used all the time, right? Y'all remember when Rick Ross made that song where he kind of slid it in there? Like, you know, like, to me, when people tell you about stuff like that, they're really doing you a favor. They letting you know like what's really happening in the dark side of our society. Cardi B did that whole thing where she talked about women using date rape drugs to take them, and she confessed to all that. I don't know why she didn't go to jail for that. So this is out there, right? So really the smart thing to me is like, I'm not taking a drink from nobody, unless I really know you, period.
Yeah.
I'll take a drink from my wife. That's it. Because it's so many people out here that just have devious plans for you. They might be trying to take something on your body, or they might be trying to take your money, or both. And you can't just be out here letting anybody and everybody get close to you like that.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Do any of you have anything else to say about this topic before we jump to the next one?
No, I said too much.
You set it up. You set it up. So our next topic is going to be about Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay, Gwyneth Paltrow came out and she was like, what she said, white women have a lot to learn from black women. Now, I found this very interesting. We were going back and forth in the chats and the comments. Some people agree that, she didn't mean any harm. Other people did not agree. What do y'all guys think? Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
I've been trying to figure out how I feel about it too. I don't know. I feel like she was maybe reaching a little bit. I mean, what she said was true, but then it was like, on the other hand, it was like some of it wasn't really a compliment to me. Yeah. It was like, we're the better person. Like women, that's how women are, period, not just white women, and I think she just, I don't know if it was like a sympathy thing or what, but I don't feel like it just was, that wasn't a compliment to me. Or a lot of stuff she said, it wasn't.
Yeah, I can see that because the whole we're authentically, amazing. Like, it's the struggle, in my opinion, that black women have to go through to be able to even learn that, right? We have to go through life being black women. So yeah, we have to have each other's back for, to an extent. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out because I see where she meant to give us a compliment, but it kind of felt a little backhanded. Like, it's not on us to make y'all better, or it's not on us to lead. I don't want to lead y'all. Go lead yourself.
Right. We've been doing that for many years.
I see that point of view, and you never know. I mean, I think that we don't. I honestly don't know how it's hard to trust white people when they say stuff, right? Period. You just don't know what they really mean. Like, what are you really trying to say here? And I think with Gwyneth, when I look at her history, I remember a few years ago when she was in Paris with Kanye and Jay-Z, and she put up a post that said something like, "We some ninjas in Paris." And she didn't say ninja. Y'all know what I mean. I'm not gonna say it here, but yeah. So, and I remember I was like, wait a minute. Now you get a little too comfortable. And I think she's like one of those type of people, you get somebody that just gets around us and they kind of feel like they can say anything that they want. And I'm not going to complain about somebody who is giving a compliment to black women, because I came from a black woman. So I love black women in that, because my mom was one. But, and I do agree that there is a lot that the world can learn from black women and black people, period. I think that we are able to survive. We in a lot of circumstances, we have overcome so much. Black women are leading the world in so many different areas. So yeah, they can learn from black women. But remember, like, that thing that they admire really came from trauma that was created by people like her. It was, we became great because y'all made it so hard for us. Right. But black women became great. I'm talking about the great black women. Not every black woman is great. Let's just be honest.
Right.
The ones that are really doing it, you became great because you had to fight your way through situations that were created by other people, sometimes by men like us, sometimes by white folks or whatever. And I think that, like, she has a point with that, but it's hard to know kind of where she's going with that. And I also think that it's definitely pandering whenever anybody acts like an entire group of people is perfect. And you see that sometimes you'll see a white person that'll be speaking on a race issue and they'll talk like every single black person's the same and that every single black person is right. And that doesn't help you either. If somebody's always acting like everything you do is wonderful and amazing, no, that ain't true. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that she said it, but I don't really know exactly what she meant.
Yeah, okay. I don't know her heart. And right after Black History Month.
I want to really quickly read what she said, just so we all know. She said, I think white women are taught to be competitive with one another. In my circle of Black women, they do not do that. Then she went on to say, my Black women friends know themselves, love themselves in a way that I think white women are not taught to. I think white women are taught to be competitive with one another, which is something I've tried to work so hard to dispel, because I don't believe in competition between women, but we're raised to be competitive, to be jealous, to look over each other's shoulders. So that's the gist of what she said, for those who did not know what she said.
So Black women can't be competitive with each other?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, we are very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of Black women, and not all Black women are built the same.
Yeah,
you know,
we're not monotone.
Right. So when you put everybody in one box, what you're doing,
right? So that's why I feel like it kind of like downplayed us. It wasn't really like a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of almost like we're weak. You know.
Well, it was just pandering. That's me. That's what it is. It's just like, you know, I'm a white person. I'm gonna say something nice about Black people, and y'all gonna clap for me. And I get it, but really, I think that if she wanted to address the problems with white culture, she could have done that without necessarily bringing us into it. You know, because you think about it, right? Like, white women have a special privilege that nobody else has in our society. Like, white women are they're the most fragile because they have the highest like suicide rates and all that. The lowest suicide rate is Black women. And then also the other thing about white females is that they are the least likely to like go to prison and all that. Like, Black men, we're the ones who get sent to prison. And so a Black man and a white woman could do the same crime, and the white woman, they'll let her off with parole. The Black man will get 20 years. You know, so white women have always been kind of pampered in a certain way. And I think they have to have their own conversation with each other about how you're just treating other people, period. You know, I don't think they need to necessarily just look at us or bring us into the discussion.
Right. Right. Leave us out y'all group chat.
Right. Exactly.
You want to come to the picnic so bad.
That was my next thing. And then everybody invite them to the picnic.
Right. Yeah, Gwyneth will be at the barbecue.
Wait, hold up. But speaking of the barbecue, let's jump on this next topic. Kamala Harris. Boyce, I know you want to get into this topic, so I'm gonna I'm gonna let you lead this one.
So Kamala Harris had a gathering for it was mostly Black college students, and there was a girl who circulated a video which they was playing Sexy Red at the house. Now, I'm not saying people can't like Sexy Red, you know, it is what it is, right? But I don't know if Sexy Red is the best representation of what we are as Black people. I think there's so many other things we got going on other than like it's always like a race to the bottom. They pick the lowest common denominator. You know, my wife is she does a whole lecture series about the stereotypes of Black women. She talks about the sapphire stereotype, the Jezebel stereotype, the mammy stereotype, and the one of the gold digger and the angry Black woman and all that. And they always lean on those stereotypes. And so when she played that Sexy Red, I was like, are you serious right now? Like when they bring in other people, they bring Asian kids, they're not playing Sexy Red. When they bring in Jewish kids, they're not playing this type of stuff. But they really, I think it speaks to a lack of respect people have for us as a community to say, oh yeah, if we do this low life debaucherous thing, oh, Black people gonna love it. They gonna love it. Just like they love greasy food that's gonna kill them. They love shooting each other. They love all the negative. And that's not really who we are. Sexy Red is not a good representation. So they could play Sexy Red somewhere else, but playing it at the White House, what are you really saying to those people?
I agree. It's like selling gold sneakers.
Right.
The blacks, they love me because I make sneakers and I go to jail. The Blacks love me because you're right. They all pander to us because they really think y'all stupid. They think that we just don't have a brain in our head, and it bothers me. I don't like it. You know, I'm not voting for any of those people.
I agree. Honestly, when I saw it, I was like, what is happening? Like, why are they dancing? They're okay with this. They're college students at that. So you would think that they would like connect the dots, but I guess just being at the White House, they missed that. They missed that opportunity to just say, like, this ain't it. I get it, you know, at a party, cool, amongst yourselves, listen to what you want to, but like the representation and how it makes us look it's nasty work, in my opinion. It's nasty work. And she is, in my opinion, pandering. And ain't enough, I'm going to say this, ain't enough black in her to be acting like this.
If any at all.
Got like that much black, you know, like,
if any at all.
She works it, don't she? You know, it's just kind of one of these things where you gotta like really look at it like this. It's real simple to me. It's like if I got 2 daughters, right? And I look at, if you look at Sexy Red in her life, like my heart goes out to her, right? But it's clear she done been through trauma, abuse, probably some assault. She does not seem like she's in a space where she's happy, right? And like if you think about it, any child that lives a life like hers is not going to be a happy child. So if you want black children to be happy, why would you want them looking up to people who are not? Why would you want them even looking at a Sexy Red life and thinking that any of that is good or glamorous? It's no different from how they used to try to send the black boys to prison. They put it in the music and made prison seem cool. And thank God for Tupac. Tupac said, there ain't nothing cool about this. This is not fun. This is depressing. You know, so I think that that's what we got to look at. So maybe without even criticizing, because when I've talked about it, people get mad. They say, oh, you just hating on a black woman. I'm not hating on her. This is really love. It's really just saying, like, if we love our girls, we're going to say, like, okay, look at this life. Look at the life of a stripper, of a drug addict, of somebody who's been shot at and all this other stuff. Is that really how you want to live? No, I don't want my girls living like none of that. I want them to be happy, educated. I want them to have wealth. I want them to be successful. I want them to wake up feeling good about life, not to the point where they're on the verge of, you know, of doing something drastic because their life is so bad.
So who was the DJ? Was it just like Pandora playing, or like was the DJ black or white? Like I got a lot of questions. A lot of that matters.
That's true. Let's hope Kamala wasn't the DJ. That's true. So maybe we're being too hard on Kamala, right? Like maybe somebody else did it and she didn't have nothing to do with it. Because as vice president, you probably get blamed for a lot of stuff you didn't do.
She could have said turn it off.
Yeah.
She could have said
that's yeah. It's enough black in her to know that.
Yeah. Turn that shit off now.
Okay, guys. So next, I want to talk about this whole Christina Mackey situation and her alleged breakup with Rick Ross. Listen, we told this girl, I told this girl
Everybody
so many times. Everybody told this girl, stop talking. The minute you be talking about my man all over social media is when your man got you out here looking like a fool. Okay. So recently she did, she was live streaming at the gym. And a song from Rick Ross came on, and the look on her face was like, and then she just shut the live off.
Wow.
The disappointment was epic.
Wow.
Listen. When she couldn't pull the hamburger helper together, we knew it was a problem. Okay.
The tacos.
The tacos.
And he looked like and she kept recording him, bringing him food, and he never looked like he wanted the food.
I didn't want.
Wow. Well, what do y'all think? I'm curious to get y'all's assessment as women on this. I got my own 2 cents, but I'm curious, like, what do y'all think in terms of what was going on in that relationship? What do you think the mistakes was made in that situation?
Well, for one, he's almost twice her age. I think she's like 27 or something like that.
Okay.
Rick Ross should be about 50, if not almost. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big difference, and I don't think I've never seen any of his women like he helped build, like, how a lot of women, they'll date rappers and stuff like that. And the rappers kind of put them on or whatever. And once they leave, they will have something going for themselves unless they already had it. But he don't really like boss his women up anyway. I think he just used them for, I ain't gonna say beards, but for the time. And when their time is up, their time is up. Like,
interesting. Okay.
I agree. I think he uses them for the clout. What clout they may have. He was with Pretty V before when she was popping. He got with Christina, and she thought, I don't listen. I understand that, I'm in love. I get it. We've all been in love, but you have to acknowledge people's patterns. You have to be real with who somebody is, whether that's your boyfriend, your mate, whatever. You have to acknowledge who they are. And I kept seeing her like playing to everybody's face, you know, like, we don't know he's trash, like, you're so special. Everybody thinks they're special until they're recycled.
Oof, wow.
But it was over faster than I thought, though. I thought it was gonna last a little bit longer than that, though.
Girl,
This
had a baby in January on her. She should have known. Like, stop playing. She played herself, if you ask me.
Yeah,
and it didn't help that she couldn't even cut up the lettuce properly for the tacos. It did not help the situation.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's yeah. I asked y'all's opinion on it because I'm really trying to really understand it from different perspectives, because I agree with you, right? I think that I never understood, just as a person who I was raised by a real man who was responsible, intelligent, and accountable, you know, and he was a tough man. You know, my father's actually killed people. He was a soldier and all that, but he also just had values about how you conduct yourself as a man. Yeah. So what happened as a result of that is I have zero respect for a lot of these rappers, because a lot of these guys are just, you know, worthless dudes, like in terms of how they carry themselves, not as human beings, but just their behavior. Think about this, right? What kind of man is somebody you want in your life who is having sex with everything that moves, probably got every STD in the book, throwing his money away, putting it in stripper thongs and killing his generational wealth, celebrating ignorance, trying to be as dumb as possible, glorifying the murder and the death of Black people? Like there's nothing, and then glorifying extensive use of drugs and alcohol. Well, we got so many kids out here that's like going off drugs and everything before they even get a chance to live. You 18 years old and you hooked on stuff that's going to damage your brain for life. You ain't coming back from that. Mm-hmm. You ain't coming back from fentanyl and Molly and meth, and that stuff murders your brain. So here's my point, right? So when I see some of these guys, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I don't understand why we celebrate that, and I also don't understand why women will be attracted to that. You don't want that. You don't want a man like that as the father of your kids. He's only gonna hurt your child's feelings. Your baby's gonna cry every day because daddy ain't nothing, right? I'm trying not to cuss, but y'all know what I'm about to say, right? I got that from my daddy too. So here's my point, right? With Rick, he's almost 50 years old. He's dating this young, pretty girl who, unfortunately, maybe because she did not have a good male role model, she thinks that that's a man. That ain't a man. That's a man substitute. That's a pretend to be man. That's a famous. He got a little money, a little fame. So you think that you're getting something special? No, you ain't getting nothing special. You're getting more heartbreak. And so when I saw that video you showed me, I saw a young girl whose dreams just kind of got shattered. Right? She fell into this fantasy. She's gorgeous, so she probably passed up a lot of good, normal, hardworking men who would have loved the hell out of her, so she could go be with this fat bastard who's gonna throw her out with the garbage. Seriously. Like, this ain't nothing, you know. So that there's a lesson there, right? But I also think,
hold up, let me add a layer. She's Elijah Muhammad's daughter. Go.
Oh, so that is true. Okay, I didn't know if that was true or not.
Oh God, oh Lord. Okay, now you're gonna really knock me out. I did not know that. Okay, I'm gonna have to process that later, because why are you punching me in the face, Jovi? That's too much. So there we go, right? Everything that glitters ain't gold. And I think that's what you learn from that. And I think that for her, it was like what I saw on her face was just heartbreak. Like she was really out here caping for this man. She was showing something that women should be proud of. She was showing loyalty to her man. You should do that. But your loyalty is valuable. Your love is valuable. And you cannot give that to just anybody, because some of these guys will use you up and chew you up and spit you out. Mm-hmm. You know, save that for somebody who really deserves it. Not this guy who got all his money just by being this minstrel show that hip hop really became. You know, it's an embarrassment. So I feel bad for her, but then again, you make your own bed. You make your own choices.
Lesson learned, hopefully.
Lesson learned.
Hopefully she's not back here in 6 months doing this again with somebody else.
Oh no, I hope not.
You know, once they get with one, it just goes. So she'll be back again.
Well, you know what? She did get a little bit out of it. I looked up her Instagram. She has like 500,000 followers. She probably wouldn't have had that many followers if she hadn't hung out with them. So maybe it was a career move for her. I don't know. Like, think about it. Like, most of us wouldn't even know about Amber Rose if she hadn't dated Kanye. right? We know, and Amber was able to take that recognition and make it into a whole career. Now she's like 40 and still living off of what she had from that old relationship. So sometimes a relationship can level you up in certain ways. So I think it's really best to like salvage what you can from it. Think about what goods you can get, what lessons you learn, and then you move on to something better.
Very true. Do you have anything to say, Keisha? Are you good? Okay. So we're going to jump on to our next topic, which is Terry Crew. Okay. So Terry Crew recently had an interview and they asked him about the Taraji P. Henson situation and pay. And he went on to say that, one, he did not get paid for training day, and he thanked Ice Cube for the payment for $4,000 payment for Friday. What do we think about that?
I like it.
I actually just see a man that doesn't have, he's not prideful, and he had gratitude. You know what I mean? He understood that sometimes you got to take less in the beginning to grow, because he didn't get much, from Friday or nothing from training day, but initially that helped his career anyway. And had he not done it, he wouldn't be where he is today. So I actually love that he had a different attitude about it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. If you look up Terry Crews's net worth now, it's probably somewhere north of $10-12 million. I think in fact it's more than that. It's 30 million. I'm looking it up right now. He made $6 million last year, and he makes $160,000 per episode, and he has $8 million in the bank right now. So all that would not have happened if he had not made that investment in himself by being in the movie Friday. Because remember, when you're an unknown actor, there's 1,000 people waiting to take that same role. And so what Terry did that was very smart was he said, I'm gonna go ahead and make this investment in myself. I'm gonna build my brand, build my name up, and then I'm gonna make my money later. And that's just strategy, but unfortunately a lot of people, they can't see a good opportunity unless it comes with a paycheck.
Yep.
And most of the best opportunities that you'll ever get are not going to be attached to money. Right. So you got to be able to see the wealth outside of just like, how much did I get paid this week? So because a lot of people would have passed up that opportunity, and then they still sit in Hollywood struggling, wonder why they never got famous. Well, it's because Terry was willing to do some stuff that you wasn't willing to do. Now, that might go even further than that, right? Because Terry sometimes Terry takes on roles where I'm like, what are you doing, man? This is kind of silly right now. But still, though, what he said about Cube and all that, I like that a lot. And it also, what it does too is it means that if Ice Cube does another project, he knows that Terry's a good guy to do business with. And he also understands that he's going to have to pay him this time because he's not the same Terry Crews that he worked with in the beginning.
I agree 100%. You have to start somewhere. I believe you really have to start somewhere. You can't come out the gate just expecting people to pay you millions and billions of dollars. You have to work up to that, and like you said, his net worth right now is good. I as well do not necessarily agree with all the roles that he played, but listen, that's on him. He's making money, he's taking care of his family, and there's a lot of people, I think a lot of people out here just think that things are supposed to be handed to them. Like nothing in life comes for free. You get nothing out when you don't put in hard work. There's people right now there's a gentleman right now who's running around upset because he made a dance and a rapper is now using it on her tour. Y'all know what rapper, okay? And he's mad about it, right? But you were essentially, nobody knew about you. You should have took, in my opinion, the tickets, you should have took the promo, and next time you could have then asked for a bunch of money. You have to start somewhere. Everyone does not just get to I think I deserve. You have to prove what you are worth.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. I saw that, Jovi. I saw the thing with the guy. We can't say. Should we not say the rapper's name?
I don't know.
I don't want Tasha to have more fights with rappers, but
say it. I don't think it's a problem.
Okay, yeah. It was Nicki Minaj, and I saw where the dancer made up the routine and all that. I get what you're saying, right? I definitely agree. You got to start somewhere. But the way he described it sounded like they just offered him a bunch of BS. They were like, I don't think they even offered him $100. And they offered him like 2 free tickets. Was that right?
I think they offered him tickets, backstage passes, and I guess promo on her social media platforms. That's what I understand.
Okay. Well, then that does have value, because just one post on a Nicki Minaj Instagram page would probably be worth at least $500,000. I think the Kardashians charge $2 million per post.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So and I don't know how many followers Nicki has, but I know she's got a lot. Right. So really, I think, that if that's the case, if they did offer him the chance to be on her social media and all that, he probably should have talked to some people first before he decided like what to do. This is why, like, I think, like, whenever I'm not sure about a decision, I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to screw me or not. I'll go talk to somebody who can help me understand, whether this is a good deal or a bad deal. So for him to just flat out say no, thank you, and then to go to war with them by posting on social media, well, let me tell you what they did to me, I don't think that's going to really be beneficial to him long term. I think he could have created a relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
Because now people are going to see how, even if people wanted to work with you, that's going to deter them in the future, because now they feel like, if we do something you don't like, the first thing you're going to do is run the social media. Yeah,
right. People that run businesses are not going to want to mess with you now. Like, they're like, okay, so because that's the thing. Like, with my wife being a relationship therapist, I learned a lot about relationships. And one thing about it is that people have to feel safe dealing with you, right? They have to know, like, okay, if you get upset with me, are you a person who's going to go ballistic and try to burn the whole house down and destroy me? Or are you a person who's going to try to work it out and figure it out? And I think that's important to know, like, when you're talking about marriage, or you're talking about friendships, or you're talking about business, because you can't do business, or you can't build a family. You can't build nothing with somebody who just gets mad and throws a temper tantrum,
Burn it all down.
So really, I think he sent a real bad signal by even doing that post. I wouldn't have done it. I would have just kept working with him somehow, or got some, brought some people in and say, okay, let me talk to my lawyer first, or something like that. I don't think I would have just went and attacked him on social media.
And Nicki Minaj fans like the Beehive, like they gonna buy whatever she's selling. Like he really should use that to his advantage, like for real.
Yeah. He can be like, I sell socks, with my face on it. Can Nicki tell everybody to go buy my socks?
Yeah,
you make $100,000 real quick off of that.
He should have took a lesson from Terry Crew and say, thank you. Thank you for the little bit come up, and I'm gonna use this wave and I'm gonna ride it all the way. Now in my opinion, the Barbs are going to throw him to the left. He could have had it, but thinking that you are more valuable than you have proven to be. Because again, it takes time to prove your value. Takes time to prove who you are, your value, for people to even consider working with you, right? Mm-hmm. So now, like y'all both said, he done messed that up, and who's gonna want to work with him? Not nobody I can think of.
Yeah, and I can tell you this: like, what I believe is that no matter how big you get, you should always be a decent person. Period. It don't matter, even if you're the most famous person in the room, the one that's got the most money and all that. You never know when that, like, karma is real. That bad energy you're putting out, and if people know you as arrogant or hard to work with, that gets around, and then other people won't want to deal with you. I really think that's kind of what Kanye deals with. I think Kanye has a righteous cause. He's making a lot of good points and stuff like that in public, but because he sort of feels like he's always the most important person in the room, it's like people just say, you know what, this guy, I don't want to mess with him. Yeah. So I think no matter what level you are, I think you always benefit by approaching people with professionalism and decency. Like when I was talking to y'all before backstage and everything, you're decent people, and that just makes for a better situation. You can get more done that way.
Agreed. So
Monique, you hear that?
Oh, go ahead.
I said, Monique, you hear that?
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Are we able to talk about Monique for a second?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. You know what's funny? My wife brought up Monique one time when she was saying that one of the things that Monique did that kind of hurt her position a lot was when she stopped being funny. Like, most of the time when a comedian has something that they are mad about, they always start off with a joke to remind you that they're funny. Like when D.L. Hughley was responding to Cat Williams, first thing he did was he made a joke. You know, that's what they always do. They always joke because they want to remind you, like, I'm talented and I'm funny, and comedy is my superpower. So I feel like when Monique got super serious and started sounding like Cornel West, or you know, like real serious, you know, like look, you know, here's what's going on. You know, I think that kind of made people say, wait a minute, but you're a comedian, like. You know, so I think that if I was to give Monique advice on this, which I never would, because I don't have the authority to do that, but I would say, okay, lead with your comedy, lead with your talent, and then you can get to the point where people will accept your message more directly because you have made them laugh and reminded them, okay, she's talented, she's funny, she should have a Netflix special or whatever. But when you come in there just like she comes in hard, you know, like you know, Sister Soldier hard, and I don't know if that really fits what she's trying to accomplish as a comedian.
No, she started using the stage as her place to vent instead of telling jokes like she used to.
Yeah, just tell more jokes. Even Cat Williams said a lot of real serious stuff. He led though with a joke. Dave Chappelle says stuff that would get you canceled in a minute, but he leads with a joke. And then people take it in. So just lead with the jokes. Be funny first, and then get serious after that.
I agree. So guys, we're gonna go to a real quick commercial break so TK could pay these bills. But when we come back, be prepared because we will be discussing, okay, defending the sexuality of Black men. Y'all seen what's been in the headlines. We're gonna be talking about Meek Mills. We're talking about Shay Shay. We're gonna be talking. So be prepared, and we'll see you in a minute.
Corey SSG in the wine cellar. You're a rapper. You blew up back in 2016 as a YouTube couple sensation with your wife, Carmen Pritchett. You both have amassed millions of views across social media, showcasing your married life, your kids, pranks, and real lavish lifestyle. The world fell in love with both of you, and you have since divorced your wife and called her out for not appreciating you as a good husband, being a bad mother, and losing herself. And recently, things have gotten so nasty between you and your ex, you actually confessed in a YouTube video that you have since called immigration on your ex-wife for illegally walking across the border at the age of 7 to enter this country illegally with her family. You have been very vocal about your split. Carmen has also alleged that you were mentally abusive and made her participate in threesomes to please you, only for you to still turn around and cheat on her with other women and her friends. You guys have been married for around 5 years? 5 years? Mm-hmm. Okay. You've been active on social media the entire time.
Yes.
Okay.
Since the whole relationship started, really.
I know you and Corey have since, reconciled. Now he said
recompensated.
After he did get on social media to drag you, I was just like, what the could you have said to her to make her want to take you back?
He didn't get that far.
You're saying now, you and Carmen are now going to work things out. Mm-hmm. Are you going to move to Houston or is she going to move to Miami?
We actually going to go to Alabama.
So you're not moving to Alabama with him?
No, why would I?
So why would Corey think he went to get his wife back and said both of y'all are moving to Alabama and moving in together?
He's assistant moving to Alabama. I'm confused.
Did it feel like old times when y'all was together?
When you in front of your wife, you look in the eyes, and and then you see that, and it's just like everything just all, and they was like, I can say that, like, damn, I miss you. You know what I'm saying?
There's no emotions attached when it comes to speaking of the situation. Repetitive,
Yeah.
Like, it's just repetitive. Like, let's talk about the new guy that I have. How about that?
That's what I'm saying. So what is the stark contrast between your old relationship and your new guy now? Your daughter has accused you of the most heinous thing. She said that you f***ed her for 10 years.
My body gave him a reaction that I didn't want.
My daughter said, Dad, if you didn't do it, you need to go on the show. You need to do an interview.
My father wasn't the only person that was touching me.
Brandon Freeman, your sister has waged war against your dad. And you as well, too.
My 2 older brothers was as well.
You've been around for about 20 years. Mm-hmm. You've been in Chantel's life. You know her very well.
She watched him beat my ass.
I was raised to, if you know something's wrong, say something.
You were featured on Breakbeat Media's channel and you detailed abuse that happened to you from age 5 to 15 years old. And this alleged abuse took place by not only your mom, but your dad and your 2 brothers.
It's very important for me to tell my story to bring awareness to the Black community.
21 years old after having a baby, right? My dad is not circumcised. He has meat everywhere. Your dad goes off to the side. The police make him pull down his pants. That man is fully circumcised. How is it that you, if this man allegedly took your virginity, you have been sucking his dick since you was 5, you have been in and out of his house your entire childhood, how is it that you don't know the difference between what a circumcised man is and what an uncircumcised man is?
When he saw that my hymen wasn't no longer attached, my father started to full gauge, have full-blown sex with me.
You say I was sleeping with all these women. In her video, she said I had all these women, but she wasn't lying. Plenty. 15, 20 at all times. So I was risking her life. I was sleeping with them women, then I'm running up in her room. Then why would I be asking you if you're a virgin?
I don't remember when I lost my virginity. I don't know. I don't know if it was one of my brothers. I don't know if it was my dad. I don't know.
So your mama's saying you lying. Your daddy's saying you lying. Your story and you not being able to remember.
What man is gonna? Okay, so how about this? I'm such a liar.
And it's not just a man.
I would pay money myself to take a lie detector test and do whatever.
You'll do a lie detector test?
I swear to God I will. If you want me to do it right now, I do it right now. I swear to God I will.
Can we get a lie detector test down here, please?
Yeah, she don't talk to Clarence and you know, Clarence apparently gave her documentation. She told me she want me to do a lie detector test and shit like that.
Yeah. All right, winos, if you enjoyed shows like this and would like to see more with me live on stage, then be sure to join me March 10th in Atlanta, Georgia at the Uptown Comedy Corner. Tickets on sale right now. Link in the description box as well as in the bio. And don't you worry, I'm bringing the wine and Teddy, damn it, okay? See y'all soon.
Y'all, those promos were wow.
Crazy.
Okay, listen, check out those promos on TashaKLive.com. Check out the full episodes. They are crazy. It's a lot of things that go on TashaKLive.com that cannot be on YouTube because you know they restrict us over here. But she ain't restricted over there. All right.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the main topics, I also want to remind you, let me drop an extra promo, to be sure to catch Tasha K Live on stage. Tickets can be purchased on TashaKOnStage.com. Atlanta is up this upcoming Sunday, March the 10th at Uptown Comedy Center. I've been there. It's a really nice place. The first show is sold out already, okay? But there's still a few tickets available for the second show. Shout out to Cleveland and St. Louis. Your cities have been added to the tour. It's like every time I turn around, she's adding more cities to the tour. So just wait because she's coming to you. Get your tickets at TashaKOnStage.com. Plus, you never know who you might see. You might see one of us there too because she's bringing up her guest host to help her host these shows. So you never know who might just pop up in your city. So make sure to go get your tickets.
I want to go down. I want to bring my wife.
Go!
That would be so much fun, you know, because with her being a relationship therapist, I think that, you know, and also with families and stuff. I know when my wife saw that promo, she was sad because, you know, she sees so many situations like that with families that she's actually doing therapy sessions right now. And that's a big problem in our families, in our communities. And it sounds like you're like balancing between like, okay, we want to make sure that we believe her story and hear her story. But then what if the story is not an accurate story? You know, then you're talking about sending a man to prison or destroying him over something that isn't true. So as a community, we got to fix this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. She said she took a lie detector test and passed.
Mm.
So
we gonna see. Go over Tasha K Live and you'll see. Okay, it's getting saucy. It's saucy over there. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Well, you know, and the thing is, in the middle of the sauce, I think there's always. That's why I like Tasha's platform is that in the middle, because I know I can see how smart she is in the sense that like what might come off as just saucy or gossipy, it's like there's always a lesson in it. There's something, there's a chance to learn. And I think, I mean, what better thing for us to understand than to have functional families, you know, because this type of thing, that ain't the only family. There's thousands of families out there like that. Yeah. You know, and it's painful. We cover it up. We don't want to hurt Uncle so and so or whatever, and people get away with this stuff, and that has to be fixed.
Very true. Very true. So, guys, we're running into another deep topic right now. Okay, our main topics for the day. I hope y'all are all ready. Defending the sexuality of Black men. Y'all, of the Black man. I don't know what's going on, but let's start with Shay Shay, okay? Shay Shay's sexuality has been under attack even more after a recent video of him in some tight old green outfit, then posed up like, I don't know, he looked like somebody mama. I don't know what's going on. Okay, like, listen, I watch Club Shay Shay. I also watch him on, he has a podcast with Chad Ochocinco, and Chad really gets into the nitty gritty and the things that he says sometimes. I don't know. I don't know about him. You know, I don't know about him. I'm not saying, and again, someone's sexuality is none of our concern, right? I'm more concerned with people who, you know, aren't true to themselves. But y'all, what do y'all think about the outfit, the posing? I'll start off by saying he's too old. Okay, I think after a certain age, you can't be dressing like these young bucks. He got too much back fat, too much thighs to be running around in these skinny jeans. It's like those men who sit outside running around in these skinny jeans and these tight outfits, and they got these big ass bear guts. No.
But in his defense, I'm gonna say the video don't look like the screenshot of the video look. You know, like when you see the video, it didn't look like that, but somebody just kind of screenshotted it at a like, and then he has the bow legs, so I think that made it just look more feminine. But if you watch the video, it's not on his page anymore though. He took it down. See, the video is not that sassy to me. I mean, the man purse and all of that is a love.
We don't do excuses here. We just get the job done because this one we signed up
for. See, I think it's his legs that make it look like that. I do. I think it's his legs.
Well, you know what?
To be running around here like that.
You know what? In defense of other Black men in their 50s, I will say I have a lot of respect for the fact that Shannon stays in great shape for his age. Right? Yeah. He's up in the gym, he's working out and all that. And I loved him as a football player. I'm a football fan. He was one of my favorites. And I also think that he did a lot with Club Shay Shay. Like he's killing it. And when you do that, when you get to that level and you have a platform like that, people elevate themselves by taking shots at you. You know, like I heard somebody say one time that you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Your hater is usually somebody who's trying to get what you got, trying to get where you at. So Club Shay Shay he's gonna get those shots, and it's gonna come from a lot of comedians because he chose, and I don't know how I feel about it, but he chose to make his platform this place where comedians come and throw darts at each other. And so the ones that are getting, you know, bombs launched at them from his platform, they're gonna go after him, right? And that's just natural, right? But I do think that it's interesting when you talk about, first of all, I can't get with the orange purse. I didn't understand the orange purse.
Yeah.
And also I think that if he's gay, you know, first of all, what's wrong with being gay, right? I don't understand being gay. That's not my thing. But I think it's kind of funny we act like that's like a big thing to find out that somebody who they sleeping with. I never cared who another man was sleeping with. And I personally, if you are that obsessed, if you are a man and you're that obsessed with who another man is sleeping with, then maybe you're sleeping with some people that you shouldn't be sleeping. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't think about what a man does in the bedroom. Now, for women, though, it's important because you got a lot of men that are transformers, that are lying and pretending. You know, yeah, you know,
I'm start using that word.
Yeah, I knew a young lady who went to Clark, Atlanta. In Atlanta, she said that her friend went to the doctor, and the doctor said she had an infection, and she had feces inside her. You know what? And it was because her boyfriend was, you know, raw dogging in the afternoon and coming to see her at night, and wasn't even taking a shower in between bus stops. And so really that's like a real thing. And I think that for women, it is something to pay attention to and be concerned about. I don't think it makes you homophobic if you're like, well, wait, well, like, what's really going on here? Like, who are you? Who really are you? Because there are a lot of people who kind of lie about that. So maybe we can make it easier though by encouraging people, like, just come out the closet. If that's who you are, just be you. Like, stop pretending. So I kind of understand all the sides of that.
Yeah.
Especially in today's time, I don't feel like we're in a time where, it's so accepted everywhere. It's no need to hide it, And I think hiding it doesn't give women like a choice, give the woman a choice to say, okay, I want to be with a bisexual man or something like that. But, doing it, just not saying anything, that's just kind of not giving women a choice.
Yeah. I think people should have a choice. And then also it's like, when you're talking about Ocho Cinco kind of being like a little bit weird and all that, we got to remember, like, I saw a study that said that 99% of all NFL players have significant brain damage. Like, so whenever we see, so I think everybody watching, whenever you see an NFL player do something crazy or even something violent, just know it's that CTE. You ain't supposed to get hit in the head that many times. They had the brain damage since they played Little League. There was a doctor who said it ain't just, you ain't got to get to the NFL to get the brain damage. It starts when you're like 10, right? So these guys been getting hit in the head for all these years. So, it messes up their thinking. The violence and all that. Some guys went to prison, like Aaron Hernandez and some others went to prison for murder, because the part of their brain that tells you like you're not supposed to kill that guy, you're mad at him, but you ain't supposed to kill him. That part was shut off. So this is why I also think, we got to really think about how many of our boys we're putting in football, because that's just a real factor.
Yeah. Chad, their podcast, don't ask me the name at this moment. He keeps asking Shannon, different examples, like, okay, he can't poop in front of his woman, different things that I think that's where a lot of this, are you straight, what's happening, is coming from, because a lot of things that people would consider normal, can you poop in front of your woman? Can you see her poop? Can she pee in front of you? And Shannon saying things like that make people, I think that's where the questioning comes from, because it's a lot. And I understand he's older. Sorry, boys. He's older. He
got 3 years on me.
He's stuck, as you grow, you're stuck in your ways. You don't really change as you grow up. And I get it. He also grew up. He's a good old country boy. So maybe those things are just foreign to him. But the perception of it all is a little messy, especially when you're running around in tight clothes that these 20-year-olds should be wearing, and you built like that because now every part of your body is on.
And when he was hanging out with the stylist, that was a little sketchy.
That's
that I mean, if you really want to talk about that part about whether he's gay or not, look, here's the thing. My spidey senses say that based on like when I want to understand people, I'll read their whole life story. I feel like Shannon does have some issues with women, because I think there's always something going on when a kid gets raised by their grandmother. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, I got to double check, but I believe Shannon was raised by his grandmother.
He was.
And then when somebody says I was raised by my grandmother, the first question should be like, well, what was your mama at? Where was your daddy at? What happened here? Right. And then also, I would say to ladies, whenever a man is above, like, say 40 and they haven't been married or even gotten close to it or whatever, there's always a reason. It doesn't mean it's a bad reason. It's just you got to find out what the reason is. Maybe for him, it might have been I was so obsessed with my career that I didn't have time for other people. That happens a lot. Or it could be that, look, I never really liked women at that level. You know what I mean? Or at all, right? It's so really, I think that with Shannon being, or Shay, which that's another variable, with him being 55 and still like he's single, ready to mingle and all that, I don't think that's really normal, especially from a man who has had plenty of options. Like it's not like he ever ran into a shortage of women that would love to be married to a big, strong football player with millions of dollars in the bank. So he's clearly choosing not to pursue that. And the stylist kind of says something too. I'm gonna just be honest with you. As a heterosexual male, I wouldn't want another man to be like with me like that all the time, who was not my son, my father, my brother, right? But again, it's nothing wrong with that. But like when Diddy had, remember he had Farnsworth Bentley the third, that guy that carried the umbrella. Yeah, Diddy's like, I want to get under the umbrella with you and all that stuff. I remember watching that, like, that's so weird. Like what man says that?
He's been posting some little stuff on Instagram too, like he's trying to say stuff without saying it. but he's been real like.
You talking about Farnsworth? You talking about Diddy?
Farnsworth. Yes.
Well, to me, he ain't got to say it. Like,
I mean,
and what's crazy to me about us as Black people is that it doesn't even cross our minds that our favorite celebrities might be gay. We don't even think about it. Like Latifah been telling y'all since Set It Off. You know, Jada's been sending hints for years. Will, everybody, all these, and I'm not putting on none of these people. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. But I think that they're in like this weird dilemma. Remember, Hollywood is extremely gay, right? Hollywood. The music industry is extremely gay. So to me, when you're coming out of the camp of Clive Davis and all these other people, like, there's a good chance that you might be in that community. It's not a bad thing, but it's weird to us. Like, we really will be looking at a guy and thinking he's like this great sex symbol, and he don't want you. He's looking at your boyfriend. Ooh. You know, and why? And it's weird how we just don't even see it, even when it's in plain sight. So really, all this is in plain sight. I'm looking forward to when everybody can come out the closet and just do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Speaking about potentially coming out the closet. Our next topic is Meek Mills, y'all. Y'all seen it. We've all seen it. Meek Mill's been defending his sexuality, and even his tweets been sounding suspect. He's been going on a rage. He's been raging so hard he done crashed his car. He was out here. Let's read the tweets. The two things they say: we snitch or we gay. We generating hundreds of millions from music, and there's no coincidence. We all gay and snitches. They are powerful. This stuff, even if it's fake, the goal is to disrupt the hip hop community. I own my music. They drop tomorrow. Play it, child. He has been going on one. He said we don't know who they is, but he said I'm exposing who's being trying to kill the Black image and most. He was out here saying he hired investigators to try to figure this out. Listen, when this whole thing came up, my first thought was, thus protest too much.
Yes. Okay? Especially the one about having sex with the period. Like that was TMI. Like that was a reach. Like you was trying real hard to prove you're not gay. Like real hard.
He's been battling with academics for days. I'm not even necessarily a fan of academics, but my God, why are you battling? If you know who you are, why you keep going and keep pushing? Mm-hmm. You know, like I said, my first thought was like, something's up because thus protest too much. The tweets are sounding weird. It's a little bit too much. Just be quiet like the rest of the people they're accusing of this Diddy stuff. Just stop talking. Okay. He's been going so hard. If I recall correctly, he had a car crash on Friday. So discombobulated. And according to academics, he sent the police to his house. Like, you doing all of this. I thought we don't call cops. What happened? You doing all of this because he's questioning your sexuality. But again, if you know who you are, why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that we maybe got to ask ourselves another question too. Like, what really makes somebody gay? I think that's a definition that a lot of people disagree on, right? And I think that what you really might be seeing in some cases, I don't know about Meek. We could take him off the table on that part, but you know, a lot of like Hollywood types, celebrity types, they're very spoiled in that they have had a little bit of everything. You know, they taste every flavor of the ice cream. They done had every kind of woman. Some of them had every kind of man. Some of them had every kind of orgy or whatever. And so I think that what might be happening is like maybe in their head, they're like, well, I'm not gay, but I only got with a couple trannies, right? But I usually get with women. Or I'm not gay, I only sleep with men once a year. You know, like really, I think that's right. Or like a dude, you know, if you look at a guy, maybe let's say while he was in jail, he was getting with dudes and then he gets out and he's like, well, I only do that when I'm in jail. So I ain't gay. Right. So I think that we don't even agree on what it really means to be gay. And I think that's where maybe the back and forth might come from. I also think that for the ones that are in that category, which I really feel bad for them, to be honest with you. Like people think that being famous and being a celebrity or being a famous rapper and all that, like is an amazing life. It's not. It's a lot of stress, people trying to kill you, everybody gossiping about you, in all these crazy situations, you're around drugs and debaucherous people and all that. Mm-hmm. It's not a good life. I've seen it. I don't want none of that, you know, but we chase it because it's attached to money. right? And white man put some money in front of us. We like, I want that. I want that. No, you don't. You know, so I feel like for those guys, I think that they are. I'll give you an example that told me something about how it could be a blessing and a curse. I think I got to double check this, but somebody mentioned to me that in Will Smith's book, he said that he has slept with so many women that he would vomit when he had an orgasm. And I remember thinking, and again, I got to double check that, right? So if Will sees this, I don't want him to think I'm making it up, but to me, I was thinking, how weird does your life have to be for you to get to the point where something that's supposed to be extremely pleasurable makes you sick? It's really when you just had too much of it. You know, and when you've had,
ain't really what you want.
Right, it takes more and more extreme stuff to satisfy you.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrities have been in situations that regular people can't even relate to. Most people don't know what it's like to go places where everywhere you go, everybody offers you whatever you want, and where everybody's nice to you. All the women want to do whatever for you, and it creates like a warped mentality, right? So I think with Meek, I think he's probably struggling with that. Like, who knows? I mean, maybe he's done some interesting stuff.
Well, that's obvious.
He was in that pool at Daddy's house, and Puffy calling him, "All right, Daddy." No, man. Like Boyce said, I don't understand. Another man calling you daddy is weird and suspect to me. The whole thing to me is weird and suspect. I was speaking to a friend, and I said, I had an idea, how he was able to get out so early. And, they talk about Diddy and his sugar daddies. So I'm like, remember when he got out? Okay. Remember when he got out, who all them people who helped him get out? They was and they had him around him. I'm like, what did Meek do? In my mind, again, this is allegedly, in my opinion, what the heck did he do to get out of jail? What were you willing to do? Because like Boyce said, a lot of times when these men are in jail, it ain't gay. That's just the holes that it is. They'll come out and they'll get upset and they'll want to fight you, if you call them that. But when they're in there, they're doing these things. So, like, what possibly could he have done which makes him feel a way? And again, we have to acknowledge that in our culture, we would hope it's not so. But in our culture, people look down on it. That's why academics was out here throwing all that shade and saying all those things. It's a mark on your manhood. In their opinion, it's a mark on their manhood, so they feel away. And I really feel like him constantly going on and on and on and trying to defend his manhood is making him look suspect as hell.
Yeah.
Plus, let's not forget that Nicki Minaj, since we said her name before, let's say it now. So she used to date him, and she did say that she dated a rapper, okay, who was gay. They was so much rappers. Okay, we ain't talk about Safari. They date so much rappers who was gay and couldn't deal with it, so they want to put their hands on you because they can't deal with the reality of who they are. So it sounds suspect to me, but again, he's grown. He can do whatever he wants with his organs, okay? But the not admitting or the just being in whole hard denial of who you are as a person it's just not healthy mentally. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy for who you are. It's just trying to hide everything all the time and trying to hide exactly who you are to the world. It messes with your mind. And you can't never be real with anybody or even yourself. I don't think you can even be real with yourself if you're hiding your true feelings about the other sex or the same sex.
Yeah, well, hip hop is not the hip hop culture is supposed to be like a masculine kind of culture, right? But it's kind of weird because the industry is controlled by these people that are not black, that are heavy into that LGBT space, right? So a lot of times it's really messed up because it's like butt breaking during slavery, where they would take these men out the streets and just make them do these humiliation events that would just take away their manhood, make sure you can stay under control, remind you, of where you are and who you are. And so the men that reject that, they're the ones who don't get the record deals. They're the ones who don't get the opportunities. but it's the men who said, okay, you know what, I'll bend over, I'll get on my knees, I'll do whatever I got to do to get that record deal. You know what I mean? And these become your celebrities. These become your men that you end up looking up to, and they got to run around, you know, with this big lie and pretending to be the Incredible Hulk and all that, when really, you know, you want to sleep with the Incredible Hulk. That's what you want. You're not really trying to, you know. So it's kind of the good thing about all this to me is that it's bringing it a lot of it to the surface. And I think everybody needs to make sure, though, we understand like the origins of just all of that, right? Like I think that Diddy's gonna, a lot of chickens are coming home to roost for Diddy, because Diddy spent 30 years pretty much doing whatever he wanted and thinking that all that was okay. Yeah. And the thing is that it really wasn't okay. Now you're dealing with the lawsuits from 25 years ago and all that, and all the people that claim that you hurt them or whatever, they're all coming back on you. And I think that it was that lack of humility. Like they'll blow you up just to tear you down. Yeah. You know, so they'll let you think that you can drop your guard, that everything's okay, that you the man, you can do that, you can have whatever you want. And they just taking notes. They writing all that down, so that the minute you get out of line and you do too much, they're gonna bring all that on you like an avalanche. So I think it's kind of sad, because what we're watching with Diddy is we're watching him being transformed from a cool, young, hip guy that he was for a real long time. He was almost like a Peter Pan, right? Like he was 50 years old, still doing stuff that was cool to 20-year-olds. Now he's slowly being turned into Bill Cosby, you know, the dirty old man that just did these nasty things. And but remember, though, he had people that were putting him in position, right? So you got to look at Harrell, you got to go up to Clive Davis, you got to go up to all those people that's really running this industry that was enabling the R. Kellys and everything else that was going on. It ain't just us; it's all of them.
And created, in my opinion, especially in hip hop, a generation of perversion. Yeah. Right? A generation of I'm not even saying like perversion, like what they do. I'm talking about like the disrespect of women, the disrespect of the culture, right? Because back then, I was in high school back then. Let me not tell my age, but it wasn't like that. And you know, they started bringing in these people, like Boyce said, who are willing to bend over and get down. And so they're willing to promote whatever image of us, of our culture, that the people at the top want them to promote. And 20, 30 years later, look where we are. There's no more love songs. All the raps about everything is about a B and an H, and you know, where is the Let's Get Marries of the world? I don't know. Like, but
rap, they used to tell stories. You know, like rap was a story. The music videos was a story. Now it's just a bunch of gibberish that makes no sense.
And they tell us about their crimes.
Yeah, they snitch on themselves. They go on Vlad TV and catch a case. I mean, you know, and all this is really for attention and money. And you really think about it, right? You think about how hip hop was so powerful, and it really, like, black people were on a rocket ship. Like we were just becoming conscious and smart. And then they were like, okay, so black people are listening to this. Let's poison the water. Let's poison the well that they're drinking from. We're going to pour poison in it and make sure that they are poisoned, their children are poisoned, their grandkids are poisoned. And then you have this hatred. I mean, this crazy hatred of black women that came out of the music, you know, and it started way back when Snoop was talking about we don't love them hoes, you know, and all that, right? And then it just kind of kept getting worse. And then when you throw in, right, so you're throwing in all this, like, this crazy rhetoric about you hate these women that look like your mother, right? Which is self-hatred, right? Black men are the only ones that get promoted around the world as hating their women. And that's crazy. We should be embarrassed by that. But then you throw in the gayness of it, right? And that's what, to me, that adds an extra twist, because you think about it, who hates women more than a gay man, right? Like, not all gay men, right? But seriously, like, because he's competing with you, right? He don't want you he doesn't want you to have that man. He wants the man. Right,
a lot of the ones in denial.
Right.
Because the ones who live their life, they fine, but the ones in denial, they just mad. They gotta pretend like they like you.
right. They don't. They you know. So it's almost like, okay, now I get it. Now I know why you hate women so much, because maybe you wanted to be one, you know, or you wanted her boyfriend, or you wanted, you know, like, because so I think that all this cleansing of the whole industry is really good. And maybe we can get back to having some music that actually makes sense. You know, maybe we can get back to normalizing what it looks like for a black man and black woman to actually love each other and want to be next to each other and want to build a family with each other instead of having this back and forth. I don't like all that fighting. It ain't.
But I don't even think that these new rappers have the vocabulary or even that intelligent to be the rappers that we had. You know, even when you listen to their interviews and stuff, they don't even know how to speak.
No, it's true.
So I honestly think that side of rap is kind of dead. It really is.
They need a dictionary.
Yeah, you know, you are right. Some of them are gone, and it's sad because it's like a generational curse. You know, no education, drugs, all that. You know, but I think that there are some people out there that do kind of get it, right? Like I kind of believe, like deep down,
but people don't want to listen to them. You know, there are, but
those aren't the ones that the Diddy's of the world push.
Yeah, well, really, a lot of it comes down to the money too. Like it's really like we take in whatever gets promoted to us. When they put a lot of money behind one artist over another, that's the one everybody sees. Like I still think Sexy Red was planted by the industry. I think somebody's backing her because most people I know don't really like Sexy Red. You know, they're like, where did this shit come from? Like this is crazy. You know, so somebody's putting money behind that, and so I think we got to think about that.
All right, y'all. We about to wrap this up. We had an amazing show. Did y'all have a good time? I had a great time.
I did.
I had an awesome time. It's an honor to be invited.
All right. So, Keisha, the master stylist girl, tell the audience where they can find you.
Y'all can find me right here on YouTube. And you also can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All of my handles are the master stylist. And check out my product line, Main Life Collection. You can grab that at mainlifestudio.com. And if you don't know, I'm Tasha's hairstylist.
I knew that. I saw the video. Boys, tell us. Look at me. Tell us where we can find you.
All right. Well, I'm actually a finance professor, and we created something called the Black Business School. We have 162,000 students around the world, and our belief is Black families, Black wealth. We believe that our people, if we put our mind to it, we can educate ourselves financially. So I have a free training that everybody can have. If you just pull out your phone, text the word money to 87948, and the training is called How to Make Money Without Working. So text money to 87948, and we'll be connected forever.
Okay, and I'm Jovi Beauty, all right? I'm Jovi Beauty on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, even though I don't be twitching a lot. You can also find me on my website, jovibeauty.com, where I have a book out, How to Know If a Man Is Using You. And you can also get one of my beautiful hair accessories. We have a whole bunch of new scarves coming in at the end of this month. I'm very excited about that. And yeah. So again, we are so happy that y'all were able to join us today for this episode of the Wine is the New Tea. Hope y'all be here Thursday, 12 noon Eastern for our next episode. And I want y'all to have a fantastic day.
You too.